Welcome. In the previous e-learning module, we had designed the lifting hooks. In this e-learning module, I shall demonstrate and make you understand how to assemble the lifting hooks for the press tool in Catia V5. Right-click on the die shoe and open it in the new window. Let's create holes for mounting the lifting hooks. Create a position sketch on the top surface of the die shoe. Sketch two vertical infinite lines using the infinite line command. Convert the infinite vertical lines to the construction element. Create positioning dimensions to the infinite lines. Update the positioning dimension to 60 mm. Create 8 points on the infinite lines. Sketch 4 horizontal infinite lines using the infinite line command. Provide necessary dimensions for positioning the infinite lines. Provide coincidence constraints between the points and the infinite horizontal lines. Convert the infinite horizontal lines to the construction element. Change the dimensions as per the drawing. Make sure the sketch is fully constrained and exit the Sketcher workbench. Pick one of the points in the top surface of the die shoe. Create a threaded hole of size M6 with 16 mm thread depth and up to last hole. Apply a user pattern to the threaded holes to all the points sketched earlier. Copy the sketch with the 8 points as the mounting holes position for lifting hooks on die shoe. Swap the window to the press tool assembly. Right-click on the top plate and open it in the new window. Paste the copied sketch into the part body of the top plate. An error occurs, indicating the need to modify the absolute axis definition. Right-click on the pasted sketch on the product structure and pick Change Sketch Support. Pick the top surface of the top plate. Pick one of the points in the bottom surface of the top plate. Create a threaded hole of size M6 with 16 mm thread depth and up to last hole. Apply a user pattern to the threaded holes to all the points sketched earlier. Set the view to isometric and fit all in. Save the top plate. Swap the window to the press tool assembly. Right-click on the die assembly and open it in the new window. Let's assemble the lifting hook to the die assembly. Click on the existing component command. Pick the die assembly. Pick the lifting hook from the file selection window. Use the manipulation command and drag the lifting hook. Provide a coincidence constraint between the lifting hook's axis and the axis of the mounting hole on the die shoe. Provide a contact constraint between the top surface of the die shoe and the lifting hook's bottom surface. Update the assembly. Repeat the procedure and assemble the remaining 3 lifting hooks on the die shoe. Once all the lifting hooks are assembled, observe the clash between the lifting hooks and the guide pillars. Let's move the lifting hooks a bit inside to eliminate clash. Right-click on the die shoe and open it in the new window. Edit the sketch, which has the mounting positions of the lifting hooks. Update the horizontal dimensions to 70 mm. Local update the inertia volume. Swap the window to the die assembly. Update the assembly. Observe the clash between the lifting hooks and the guide pillars is eliminated. Set the view to isometric and fit all in. Swap the window to the punch assembly. Observe the mounting holes of the lifting hooks that are very close to the guide bushes. Right-click on the top plate and open it in the new window. Edit the sketch, which has the mounting positions of the lifting hooks. Update the horizontal dimensions to 80 mm. Local update the inertia volume. Save the top plate. Swap the window to the punch assembly. Let's assemble the lifting hooks to the punch assembly. Click on the existing component command. Pick the punch assembly. Pick the lifting hook from the file selection window. Repeat the procedure to insert 3 more lifting hooks into the punch assembly. Use the manipulation command and drag the lifting hooks. Provide a coincidence constraint between the mounting hole's axis on the top plate and the axis of the lifting hook. Provide one more coincidence constraint between the lifting hook's axis and the axis of the mounting hole on the top plate. Provide a contact constraint between the bottom surface of the lifting hook and the top plate's bottom surface. Update the assembly. Repeat the procedure and assemble the remaining 3 lifting hooks on the top plate. Set the view to isometric and fit all in. Swap the window to the press tool assembly. Observe the lifting hooks are all appropriately assembled. Click on File, Save All, to save all the modified files in session. Next, let's assemble the screws to the lifting hooks. Swap the window to the die assembly. Measure the diameter of the hole on the lifting hook. The measured diameter is 7 mm. We will use an M6 screw. Measure the distance between the top surface of the die shoe and the lifting hook's top surface. The measured distance is 18 mm. As we will be using an M6 screw, we will need 1.5 times 6 mm thread engagement. 6 into 1.5 is 9, plus 18 is equal to 27 mm. Let's use a screw length of 30 mm. Click on the catalog browser. Search and double-click on M6 screw with 30 mm length. Click on OK. Close the catalog browser. Observe hexagon socket-headed cap screw is inserted into the assembly. Use the manipulation command and drag the screw. Provide a coincidence constraint between the hole's axis on the lifting hook and the axis of the screw. Provide a contact constraint between the screw head's bottom surface and the lifting hook's top surface. Update the assembly. Observe the hexagon socket-headed cap screw is assembled in its position. Set the view to isometric and fit all in. Next, let's update the properties and parameters. Right-click on the screw and open it in the new window. Right-click on the screw and pick Properties. Leave the part number as is. Enter the nomenclature as hexagon socket-headed cap screw M6 into 30L. Create a new mass parameter. Apply steel material to the screw. Calculate the mass properties using the measure inertia command. Make sure to keep measure selected. Create a formula to make the new mass parameter equal to the mass parameter created by the measure inertia command. Save the screw. Set the view to isometric and fit all in. Go ahead and assemble the remaining screws to all the lifting hooks. Don't forget to save the press tool assembly. With this, We have successfully learned how to assemble the lifting hooks for the press tool in Catia V5. That's all in this e-learning module. Thanks.